previously done years and years and years of therapy, but needed some accountability. I was about a year and a half into my business and it was growing exponentially. A lot was happening at home with my family, with my parents, with my caregiver responsibilities, and it felt like, as Dawn and I call it, I was juggling glass balls. Dawn was able to teach me how to just be in the quiet. I'm not your typical meditation, sit cross-legged, candles around you, and sit, that's not me, but a quiet moment in my car, being able to reset for myself. What are my intentions and what do I need? I would say Dawn is a vibe. When she gives you a hug, when you enter her space, when you talk to her, it is an energy that passes through you. As long as you are open to accepting it, she will be there to support you 110%.
Hey, it's Derek Gant. Now, normally I would say it's Sunday Night Live at 7. It's not Sunday, it's Monday. But if you were on yesterday, we were going in deep, hard, and strong on getting aligned properly, what it really, really means, why you should do it, and how you can change to get in the right alignment. And we had the worst signal ever. But if you can tell by the opening, I had a brain explosion and decided to invite Coach Dawn. So we are going to bring Coach Dawn on because she was all up in the inbox, laying down all those jewels, letting us know what we were missing on the alignment tip. So welcome, Coach Dawn.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here. And man, boy, were you talking about one of my favorite things in the universe is to be aligned. I'm oh wow, I got super excited about just one word. Just one word.
I saw that yesterday. You were like, oh my God, it's my favorite thing to talk about. And I was like, shoot, I should have invited her to talk. And so I'm not blaming you for the bad signal, but you know what? We got a do-over, and I got a chance to bring you back to share your immense knowledge about being aligned, getting aligned, and staying aligned. Who do we have on? I see we have Rashawn on. She said hi.
Hi, Rashawn.
Today is Tara's birthday, so I don't expect to see Tara. She's out disco dancing, I'm sure.
Okay. I can see it. That's a great visual. I'm not mad at it.
Is that a great visual? I don't know. I don't know what kind of dancing adults do nowadays. I'm sure the kids are twerking, but I don't know about the adults. But Let's talk about that. Let's talk about being aligned. Hi, Regina. I don't know if you were on yesterday, but we're doing it again because the topic was so hot, so important that we wanted to really come back and put it out there. And I bought an additional expert on being aligned. And so way I started this yesterday was by saying that let's get specific. You know how people are always throwing out be authentic, be aligned. They're always throwing these things out, but they don't really tell us what it means. And I said, you know what? I want people to know exactly what it means. I want them to know exactly why they're not hitting the stride that they think they deserve to hit. And so I wanted to focus on being aligned. So we're going to let Coach John jump in, but I'm going to start off with the definition. The definition of alignment, according to the dictionary, which I Googled the other day, is being in a position of agreement. So when you are in a position of agreement with yourself, with another person, with a thing, with an item, with the project, if you are in alignment, things work. And that's what it means to be aligned, to be in a position of alignment. Do you agree with that definition, Coach Dawn? Sometimes the books don't really tell you the truth.
That's spot on. That is we'll take the Webster's dictionary version that gets us to a place of understanding and a starting point. But the best way for me to describe alignment is a feeling. It's how you feel within yourself. And so for me, alignment is being true within self. How are you feeling? If you're feeling a sense of well-being, if you're feeling in a space of contentment and joy,
Okay, Coach John, I need to hold you back a little bit. Now you're going too far. We're going too far. We ain't there yet. You jumping ahead because I know you're excited. You love this topic, but we got to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So let's be crystal clear. Alignment by definition is being a position of agreement. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I held Coach Dawn back a little bit, we're gonna let her go. We're gonna let the thoroughbreds run, but we got to hold back a second, because everybody on this call, everybody that's going to hear the replay, you are perfectly aligned right now. You are aligned. Now, if you're not happy, you're perfectly aligned with the bullshit that you don't want, but you are in alignment. So that's why I'm holding her up on this feeling of well-being, because we want to get down to the nitty-gritty. Mm-hmm. And people are going, well, I'm aligned, but I'm not happy. That's because you're not aligned the way you really want to be aligned, but you're aligned with what you're putting out in the universe. So you can have a crappy way to go, and you're in alignment with that. That means you're in agreement with that. So we need to change that agreement. Mm-hmm. Coach Dawn's big on the 4 agreements. Coach Dawn? I
am. So yes, it is an agreement, and it can be good or bad, and you get to decide how you feel. And so I was just having a conversation today, when you are have to make a decision about something, like a really important decision. It is best to make that decision from a place of being aligned within yourself. How do you feel? When they say, don't make a decision when you're angry. You know, be mindful of your words when you're angry and when you're not aligned within self, because then you can't trust what's going to come through you. And usually, if you are not aligned, it's going to be bad. It's going to be hurtful.
Let's be crystal clear. You are aligned. She's just telling you not to align with the bull, because you're aligned. You're going to get what you put into it because you are aligned with that. Mm-hmm. So we want to be crystal clear and make sure we got separation of church and state. So if you feel crappy and you're mad and you make a decision, you should expect a bad decision, because that's your alignment.
Correct. Absolutely.
All right. So let's go back to school from yesterday a little bit. One of the questions you need to ask yourself is, do you feel like you are in agreement with yourself, right? Do you think that you are in agreement with yourself? Meaning that, like, what you're thinking about and what you're doing, are they matching up or not? And I love the hearts, by the way. I don't know if they're for me or for Coach Dawn or for both of us, because, I'm just, I got an ego like that. But anyway, so, are you happy with where you're aligned? And so, going to Coach Dawn's point, if you're happy with where you're aligned, most likely you are properly aligned and you are properly in agreement.
Mm-hmm. And then therefore, so therefore you're in a really good space, and only you can check in with yourself, because you can ask yourself, okay, check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? In this moment, can you describe what the emotion is? I think yesterday you were going about asking people, well, give me some words, some language.
Absolutely.
That describes that feeling of being in alignment. And everybody was spitballing some really dope words, really high.
Let's go back. Let's do it again.
High vibe.
So the question was and is, what does being properly aligned feel like? That was the question yesterday. So we're going to go right back into that question.
Yes.
And so give us your thoughts. We have a few people on here. What does being perfectly aligned feel like? And I'll plant a few seeds. Does it feel hard or does it feel easy? Mm-hmm. Right? Which ones do you have, Coach? You threw out a bunch yesterday.
A feeling of, one of my favorite words is contentment. Because what people don't understand, you don't always have to have these over the top emotions to feel aligned, right? Mm-hmm. Contentment is a centered, grounded way to feel. So if you can get to a space where just overall your day-to-day feeling of well-being and contentment is there, and you just like, I feel really peaceful right now.
There you go. Birthday girl is on. Hey, Tara, happy birthday. What? Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Tara. All right, go ahead, Coach Dawn.
Just that feeling of, you know what? I just feel good for no reason. And you just check in with yourself and go, you know what? And then like milk that, manifest that, like really dig into that. It's like, man, I feel good. And one of my favorite new saying is, when we're in a place of joy, in a place of contentment and alignment, I say, more, please.
There you
Can
go.
I have more of that feeling? And then more comes. And then everywhere you look, because now you are choosing to see things through a lens of joy, through a lens of peace, through a lens of contentment. And when you move in that direction, oh my goodness, you spread that. Is very contagious. People just enjoy being around. Just think about the people that have that light, that have that energy, and they're not fake or phony and faking it till they make it. They just are in this very solid space of contentment.
Yeah. So Richie says, I like what Richie says. Richie says, where'd he go, Richie? Happiness, joy, gratitude, peace. Those are all in perfect alignment with the direction that you're trying to go. I added a few other words: ease, confidence, love, right? Quiet. Would you tell them to leave you alone so you can focus? Being united, being in harmony. These are all the words, not all the words. These are some of the words that you should feel when you close your eyes and say, man, yeah, I'm in alignment with what I'm doing and where I want to go. Okay. Owen said, confident in my steps. When he's aligned, you walk a little taller, your shoulders pop back a little bit, your chin pops up when you're in alignment. Okay. So, you know, the next thing would be, what is this agreement? Okay. So you have an agreement with you, and what is this agreement? And the way I describe this agreement is, it's you and your inner self agree with God that what you desire, so what you're looking for, what you want, what you need, what you're thinking about, and what you consistently think about, what you speak about, and that develops your beliefs. And with your beliefs, you formulate your story. And the story is the consistent thing that you constantly fall back on as to why you are moving positively or forward, or why you're moving negatively and backwards. It's that story. So let's agree that people love their story, be it good or bad. They can't change from it, or they can, but they don't want to change from it. And from the story, they start taking actions that fill their expectations, and that equals their results. I know that's a mouthful, but listen, all I'm really saying, go ahead, Coach. What'd you say?
I would just say that's a lot.
It's factual.
That's a
right?
lot.
So we want you to know how to move in a way that you can begin to control and see why you're not going, why you say I'm stuck, is because you're having that same story. You're repeating that same story. And yeah, you're stuck because you won't change the story. I can't get promoted because, and it's somebody else. This is happening, but they won't treat me right. I mean, that's the story that you're telling yourselves, and you get what you get. You're in agreement with the story. If you disagree with the story, you'd stop telling it.
And you're getting some sort of, some benefits from continuing to run this same loop.
What's the benefit?
Well, the benefit is attention.
Well, there you go.
Some people like that victimhood story, that, oh, woe is me, because they don't believe that they can get attention, because attention is good, positive and or negative. It's still attention. It's still you being seen. And so it takes another person sometimes to disrupt that loop. Okay. A thought is simply just an idea, words, language that you keep running over and over and over again. And when I work with my clients, it's like we talk about, it's like, well, what would it look like when I repeat back to you this loop that you're in? It's like, ooh, that don't sound so good. I don't
like it. Yeah,
I don't like it. It doesn't sound good. And more importantly, well, how does it feel when you hear that story, it's like, oh yeah, it sounds like, yeah, they really got it bad. And I said, would you want to constantly hang around somebody that's constantly in this loop of victimhood and woe is me? And it's like the absolute, it's not, because guess what? They're draining, right?
100%. Nobody want to be around that.
Nobody wants to be around that. And so, but people aren't self-aware of what they do.
Well, that's why they're here. That's why they're here, because we're telling them, look, we're just trying to stop trying to figure out why your ish ain't working, because we telling you you're not in an agreement, which means you're not in alignment. So here's why it's important that you understand alignment. So the question is, why do you need alignment? Okay. And the reason why you need alignment is because it's your point of attraction. It's the point. Where you are is where people meet you. And if you are unhappy, Nubia, the guy that says avoid the unlucky and happy. If you happen to be the unlucky, something always going wrong with you, that's your point of attraction. That's your alignment. What?
Yes.
So why do you need to be in a positive alignment? Why do you need to understand alignment? So that you can control to the best of your ability, and you can control to the best of your ability your point of attraction. So we want to help you elevate your point of attraction to develop the basis, the foundation of who you are. So the foundation of who you are, people come around you, do they leave your presence feeling better? Or are they running away feeling worse? Like, I can't wait. So you know what? I don't have my, here I got my phone. So if somebody calls you, do you go, oh God, no, not them?
Right now, I ain't got it in me right now. I don't have it in me right now. They're gonna have to go to voicemail.
They have to go to voicemail
until I'm in have the capacity, is what I say. And so my other coaching friends, well, they say like, hey, coach, do you have the capacity to be able to receive, where I am right now? And I love that question. I love when people ask, you know what? Give it to me. I got you. Because everybody is dealing with their own stuff.
Right.
And when you're really in need of some support and those people that are just that natural light, that just like Derek said, that make you feel good when you're around them, people gravitate to you.
Yep.
And so sometimes that's where you have to have your own boundaries, because you're drawing so many people that need your light, that need something from you to help them to be more uplifted.
Right.
Here's the deal. It's like, we won't continue in this loop. I don't allow myself to be everybody's light 24/7, 365. This is the part of everybody deciding that they are going to do their own work to be aligned. And I don't give advice. Okay. I need people to sit with their own stuff and come up with their own answers. So it is for me as a life coach. How do you feel? If something that you're dealing with is something that you're thinking about, if it makes you feel sick, like in your stomach, you feel nauseous, you feel off, then that you need to take notice, middle note. I got to stop thinking about that. I've got to replace it with a more high vibing thought or emotion.
Yeah, no, facts. Everybody knows Coach Dawn doesn't give advice, and everybody knows Derek does. Cut them off at the kneecaps. Wham! Let them go. Block the call. Blocked. You ain't got to figure it out for yourself if you're talking to me. Cut them off. If they make you feel like that, cut them off. But she's here to help you long term. I'm here to help you real quick, right? And they both work. But long term's better. So here's the problem. So you need to understand this whole thing. We're talking about what is it. So we talked about what is being in alignment, okay, being in agreement with yourself. We talked about why. Now we're talking about the problem. Like, what is the issue? Well, the issue is that when your point of attraction is off, you have limiting beliefs. You are cutting off. You have a good day, and then a bad day. And that's you. And you go, that's just the way my life is. You are shutting down the momentum of your life. You are shutting down the momentum of your point of attraction. You're shutting down your momentum of having a positive agreement. Okay. So you are creating that, having doubtful thoughts, using negative words. These are all problems to blocking the momentum. See, you need momentum. So before I talked to you about small wins, just small wins. Remember, I told you turn your alarm off. If you're not going to get up at the time it's supposed to go off, just turn it off, right? Like, don't even set it.
Right.
Because you need small wins. And the reason why I talked about the small wins in the past is because that's easy momentum that can turn into bigger momentum, which turns into bigger momentum. And now you've raised the standard or the vibe of your life. Coach Dawn already mentioned this, low energy people, right? So listen, she was talking about this and I agree with her 1,000%. When you're around people and people are around you and they're seeking you for your energy and your light and your happiness and your joy, and you know that they done plugged in and they start zapping your ish, if they are not on a journey. Now, Coach Dawn is going to tell you that you need to tap into how you feel about being around them. I'm going to tell you, when they leave, if you feel like crap and they are not on their journey to get higher, what's the point of being around them?
Well, again, wait a minute now. It's again, a lot of these people are in our families. Okay.
They got to go.
A lot of these folks
they gotta go.
Could be your kids. A lot
they
of
gotta
these
go.
Could be your business associate. So alignment is about, no, they don't. Alignment is about, you protecting yourself in a way, no matter what's going on outside of you. An amazing superpower is when you are so aligned within yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, saying, or being, because you're not attached to them in that way.
That's a superpower.
When people say, oh, I match energy, you hear people, I match energy. And I'm like, you know what? No, I never match energy. I have learned to stay in my own dope energy. I don't really need yours. Okay. I actually don't need yours. None of us need anyone else's energy. You may enjoy it. It can feel good. It can, it's great to collaborate and vibe together. But when you can teach yourself to enjoy your own company, to enjoy your own energy, you don't need anyone else's. Everything begins and ends with you. So no, I can't cut my mama off. I love my mama. But when my mama be on one, I have enough awareness to know that that's her ish and that stays over there. And we can put up this invisible shield and go, you know what? That's all her stuff. And it doesn't have anything to do with me.
So let's read a couple comments. So we have the Nubian One Goddess that said, her cutoffs aren't personal, they're spiritual, and that's that, period. Resilient Black Sheep says, master your energy instead. And I like both those. I'm going to tell you, I wrote a book called the 24K Life Code. The code is everybody has to figure out how they operate differently. I have cut my son off and told him when he was ready to act right, I'll chop it up with him anytime.
Yes.
Because I don't have that superpower to go, I'm gonna be happy when you pissing me off. I don't own that superpower yet. I'm working towards it, but I don't own it yet. So instead of me coming down and feeling crappy, I cut him off. I cut off a lot of people. I cut my mama off one time.
Okay, we're gonna work on that. So
we can work on it, but I'm just saying that everybody has a different threshold. And you can't afford to go backwards when it comes to where you're trying to go, again, spiritually or with your momentum. It's just a hard truth. So the last thing about the problem is that when you accept mediocrity, you're setting the tone to get more mediocrity. Okay, so stop dishing out mediocre. Stop being mediocre at work. Stop saying they don't pay me enough, so I'm just going to give them average and mediocrity, because you're going to get it back. That's the path that you're setting for your alignment. And you have to decide as an individual where you're going to set your tone and where you're going to set your energy levels. So now we're going to let Coach Dawn go, because the next thing is, how do you realign? So we're going to let her talk about how you realign. So you're not aligned the way you want to be. You're not in agreement with yourself. So how do people who are not in agreement with themselves get into agreement, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, we've got to ask ourselves the question, what is going on with me right now? A lot of times we don't give ourselves enough credit. There may be some things that are going on that you are experiencing that is outside of you, that is causing you to feel like, oh, I feel kind of yucky. What's going on? And a lot of times it has to do with, well, how are you talking to yourself today? Someone could have said something to you and set you off, and it triggered something within you because you believe it. Like, oh, you didn't do great at that today. And you took it personally because there's a small, teeny tiny part of you that believes that agreement. And so once we decide that, okay, what is the next best emotion that I can get to? We're not going to go from fear to love in like one jump.
Right.
Okay. We've got to like sit with it going, okay, well, I'm pissed off right now. So what's the next emotion that I can get to that will make me feel a little bit better? Okay. Irritated. Okay. What's the next emotion after irritated? I'm annoyed. And then you can kind of keep going up and checking in with yourself to find the next feeling, emotion to kind of get you out of that lower vibrational energy and emotion. Because again, to be annoyed is much better than being angry, right? That's more of a manageable emotion.
Right.
And you should be able to feel the difference between anger and rage and being annoyed. And that's how we start gaining momentum to the next emotion. Instead of just staying in this anger. It's like, no, you have to decide that, okay, let me breathe through this. What else can I do to shift this energy? A lot of times, you know what? Take a nap.
That's my favorite.
Take a nap. If you are feeling so low vibrational, so angry, all the things, sometimes you just need to stop the momentum. And one of the best ways is go take a nap.
Yep. Shut it down.
Go outside and go for a walk. Put your headphones on and listen to your favorite music that brings some harmony and peace within. And then before you know it, you're not as angry.
Right.
You're not as mad. Sometimes we have to stop and hit the reset button. I just need a do-over with this day. This has been a really long, crappy day. It's been a lot going on, a series of events. You know what? I'm going to decide tonight when I go to bed that tomorrow is going to be a better day. You have to decide. Don't ever go to bed angry after whatever life is done. Because remember, life is always going to life no matter what. Don't take that anger within you to bed. Find a reset point. Take a shower. Washing off the energy of, especially if you've been around other people all day, if you're a servant leader, if you're out and about in the community and people are touching you and got to be around you. You carry that energy with you. Sometimes it's good. Let me get in the shower and just
side guru, wash it off.
Wash it off.
Yep.
Let me reset. Okay, let me cleanse it. Let me watch all that negative energy go down the drain in my shower. Like, okay, something comfortable. Do all those types of things, but don't keep carrying it with you.
So let's say that you are those are excellent ways to stop the negative momentum and not get dragged down too far. So let's say you're in a good space. You're in a good space, but you know you're not really aligned. So here's my 2 cents. The first thing that I think you should do is you have to acknowledge that you're not in a good space, that you're not aligned, and you have to pray for some clarity. You need to pray for some help. Pray for some clarity, pray for some help. What that does for you is it puts it into your immediate awareness that you're not where you want to be and that you need some help to get where you are trying to go. The second thing is that you need to stop moving so much and listen for an answer. Most people pray, but they don't stop long enough to hear an answer. And that might be in the form of meditation. It might be in the form of going for a quiet walk. Ro says, I takes a walk. I'm with you, Ro. Put your feet in the grass. And then, understand that you have to start paying attention to how your words make you feel. Right? I mean, if you slow down enough to understand how your words make you feel, things never work out for me. Okay, well, how does that feel? it feels like a loser. It feels terrible. So maybe you shouldn't say that. So instead of saying things never work out for me, things are always working out for me. So they may not be working this second, but they always work out for me. And they do work out for you because you are still here. Mm-hmm. Somebody said we was preaching. It's not Sunday. I love it. I love it. So pay attention to your words. Now, we've already told you to stop the momentum. We've already told you to stop accepting mediocrity. Mm-hmm. Stop giving mediocrity and stop accepting mediocrity. Mm-hmm. And then we also told you about your story. Change your story. How about you write it down? Write your story down. When you hear yourself tell it to somebody, write it down. And like Coach Dawn said, read it back to yourself out loud. Mm-hmm. See how it tastes coming back. Mm-hmm. Not too much tastes good coming back from where it went from. I'm just saying, right? So, and then finally, I'm a big advocate of affirmations and mantras. I'm a really big advocate of mantras, because mantras are short affirmations. Things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. Derek always wins. Always wins. Things always happen my way. Those are quick mantras that will change the momentum when you're sliding the other way, or if you're not sliding the other way and you just need to pick up the speed. Those are the things that'll help you do that. So, I wanted to dig deep into this alignment piece so that you fully understand why you're not getting where you want to go, why you feel like you might be stuck, and you can pay closer attention than just falling into the normal fad of saying, I need to get in alignment.
Mm-hmm. And Coach Dawn will say, feel your way. Feel it. Ask yourself the questions. Why am I feeling a little off today? What's going on with me? And then sit with that just for a few minutes and find your own clarity. Nobody is on this earth to tell you your own answers. That is absolutely ridiculous. So if that is a practice, and that is a common practice, I want us to unlearn that and check in with yourself. You have every last answer that you need. God created us to answer our own questions. He did. He created us to guide us. And maybe we don't have the answers, but he can plop in that clarity of where to go to get it, or who to gravitate to, or who to call, or where to be. But those answers will come if we're sitting in a space of contentment, when we're sitting in a place of peace and gratitude. That's when I use my favorite new mantra is I ask God in the universe, can I get more, please, of this amazing feeling that I'm having right now? I feel so good right now in my spirit. Can I have more? Because then the universe and God will grant you your wish to give you more of that good feeling.
Hey, Coach Dawn, you feel up to sharing that you had a day, was last week, that you woke up feeling good and something happened and you said more, and then you want to go through that or not? You don't want to share that? I don't remember all the details. I just remember your ass kept asking for more good stuff and it kept coming.
And it just kept coming. No, I can't remember all the details.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. It was just, what I can tell you is that last week she had a day that she had a great lunch or great breakfast meeting, and she asked for more, and then somebody called her and wanted to be a new client, and she said, I'll take more, and then she ended up getting a referral, and she said, I'll take more, and then it just kept coming because that momentum was set, and she asked God for more. She asked the universe for more, whoever she asked, and it just kept coming. And I think it's a practice that we don't believe in, and I'm going to speak for us men. We're always told, get out of your feelings. And I was one. I might have said it in the past.
Yes.
But I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah. How do you know your feelings and emotions are what God gave you to be literally your guide? If when you're feeling off, it's guiding you to ask a question, why am I feeling off? Your emotions and your feelings are everything. So don't allow anyone ever to say, oh, you're too emotional. That's not a bad thing. What ends up being a bad thing is that people are out of control with their emotions. Okay. They're just all over the place. but your emotions are very much a good thing. They tell the story of how you're feeling right now. It's just a lot of times we don't actually say the right emotions. No, I'm not angry. No, I'm really frustrated. There's a difference in the emotion. So just make sure that when you are feeling your feelings, make sure you're identifying the right ones. Okay. Be true and honest to self. Don't lie to yourself about how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling so good, well, hey, what can I do to feel better instead of sitting in that discomfort, that low vibrational feeling in your gut and your belly? What can you do to shift your way out of that so you can feel better? And it's just baby steps. Just baby steps. You ain't got to go from here to here. It's not a 0 to 100 game. It's just not.
Hey, everybody. Thank Coach Dawn. You can thank Coach Dawn by giving her some hearts for coming on the show. Coach Dawn, thank you so much. We appreciate your time on a Monday night. We know you're busy. We know it's track season. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Give her some hearts, everybody. Thank you. All right, guys, listen, we need you to like, share, and comment. Now, you guys were amazing at commenting tonight. You were amazing at adding additional feedback and insights. You know, somebody was talking about the 943 megahertz God frequency that she listens to. And you can find those on YouTube. You can find these things. You can find affirmations. You can find videos. You can subscribe to our channel. We're always talking about things that will help you to elevate. Let me see. I see a comment. Hopefully it's a heart for Coach Dawn. It's hearts for Coach Dawn. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thanks, Richie. Thanks, everybody, for blessing us and wishing us blessings. We're here to bless you. We're here to serve. What we have done is we've taken our 3 decades of experience in business, in life, with families, and we are giving it to you to make your life easier. This is only to make life easier, because we all want more happiness. As Coach Dawn said, please more. Hey, Jen, thank you. Thank you for being on. Please more. I'm Derek Gann. I want you to be your best, bring your best, leave nothing to chance. Have a great, great weekend. Great week. I apologize. See, normally it's Sunday, so I said weekend. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, it's time to live your life. Derek Gann, show them how to take it to the highest height. Hey, this is more than financial advice. Show you how to take control. Time to get your money right. Money management, I know that we all need financial independence. Yeah, it seems out of reach, but you can make it happen. Now it's time for some action, helping you with your finances. Yeah, we got a passion. Hey, ain't no limit. Now it's time to get it. You deserve to have a life how you want to live it. Secrets to success. Now it's time to get it right. Yeah, I'm talking all about that 24K life. Let's go. This the vibe. For real, I'm trying to tell you. Tell me if you ready to take it to the next level. Derek Gann, talking fitness and investment. Change your mindset and show you how it's all connected. Ain't no need to hesitate or delay. Only way to live life is a 24K. Hey, Derek Gann, let them know. Let's go.